Hello everyone, this is Rick. Welcome to episode 16 of the Gupta Empire series. And today we are going to discuss about the religious conditions in the Gupta period. This video is presented by Rig History Extended. Religious conditions. The Gupta period is a pivotal time in Indian religious history, seeing the rise of multiple religious practices. Major religions included Buddhism, Jainism, Vaishnavism, and Shaivism, all influencing the cultural landscape. Vedic sacrificial rituals like Agnistoma and Bhajapaya faded into the background, replaced by idol worship. The priestly class gained influence, emphasizing formal details over spiritual devotion. Religious philosophy debates became frequent, especially between Hinduism and Buddhism, reflecting the dynamic intellectual atmosphere of the era. The Gupta rulers played a crucial role in supporting and promoting these religious practices while maintaining tolerance. This period saw the emergence of new religious images, symbols, and rituals, shaping future generations. Hinduism and Buddhism. Hinduism and Buddhism coexisted with significant influence, balanced in their role during the Gupta era. Samudragupta and Kumaragupta I are known to have performed the Vedic Ashwamedha horse sacrifice to assert their power. Inscriptions from Ajanta caves and other places record debates between the followers of these religions. Bhagavata, Vaishnavism, and Shaivism sects lived harmoniously, contributing to religious harmony. Religious harmony was institutionalized through the king's endorsement of various practices, showing mutual tolerance and respect for different faiths. Gupta inscriptions frequently referred to donations to Buddhist monasteries, viharas, and Hindu temples, underscoring the coexistence of these religions. Vedic sacrifices and rituals. Vedic rituals like the Ashwamedha and Rajasuya sacrifices were central to asserting Gupta sovereignty. Samudragupta is remembered as a performer of many horse sacrifices, cementing his rule with religious legitimacy. Inscriptions show kings donating lands and wealth to Brahmanas to perform the Panch Mahayajnas. Local terms like Agnistoma, Apirotyam, and Vajapaya describe the variety of Vedic sacrifices performed. These sacrifices were not just religious but political, reinforcing the ruler's divine right to govern. The Gupta rulers used religious ceremonies to build alliances with other kingdoms and establish their supremacy. Debates between Hinduism and Buddhism. Religious debates between Hinduism and Buddhism were well documented in the inscriptions from the Gupta period. Intellectuals like Shankara and Kumarabhatya are known to have debated the Buddhist doctrines in royal courts. The Bhagavata Vaishnavite tradition, which focused on devotion to Vishnu, was central to these discussions. Despite these debates, religious practices remained harmonious, with rulers maintaining neutrality to prevent conflicts. The state supported the building of temples and viharas to encourage religious debate, scholarship, and peaceful coexistence. Ajanta's murals capture these religious exchanges and the impact of the religious landscape during this era. Bhagavata religion. The Bhagavata sect, centered on the worship of Vishnu, gained prominence during the Gupta period. Nala ruler Bharatar Varma constructed a Vishnu temple which became a center for Vaishnava worship. Inscriptions mention Hastin and Parivrajaka dynasty as devotee of Vishnu, known for his Bhagavata faith. The Vishnu Puran and Bhagavad Gita, texts of Bhagavata tradition, were propagated during the Gupta reign. These texts focused on bhakti, devotion, and karma, duty, influencing rulers and commoners alike. The spread of Bhagavata practices laid the groundwork for the later development of Vaishnavism across India. Vedic religion. Vedic religion, though evolving, still held an important place in Gupta society. Samudragupta's copperplate inscriptions describe him as a performer of many sacrifices, including the grand Ashwamedha. Inscriptional records describe sacrifices such as Sodasina and Vajapaya, which were essential to Gupta kingship. The Dharmastraya title was awarded to kings who excelled in performing the Vedic yajnas. Temples dedicated to Vedic deities like Shiva and Vishnu were constructed, with their rituals performed regularly. The performance of these rituals was seen as a key to ensuring the prosperity and success of the kingdom. Devotion to Vishnu and Shiva. The worship of Vishnu and Shiva gained a powerful following with inscriptions and temples dedicated to both deities. Samudragupta performed Ashwamedha and dedicated the results of this sacrifice to Vishnu according to inscriptions. Iconography from the Gupta period reflects the growth of Vaishnava devotion, especially Vishnu's avatars like Varaha and Krishna. Kalidasa's literature, including works like Raghuvamsha, celebrates Vishnu as a powerful deity. The Shaiva tradition also flourished, with rulers and commoners alike participating in Shaiva rituals. Vaishnavism and Shaivism saw the construction of many temples and shrines during this period. Jainism during the Gupta period. Jainism thrived under Gupta rule, especially in South India, with rulers like Mahendravarman supporting Jain temples. Jain temples and monasteries or vihara played a central role in Jain religious structure. Rich public festivals celebrating Jain deities included the flower garland festival and offerings of incense. Jain monks performed daily rituals and were highly respected in society for their asceticism and devotion. The Kalavras, a regional ruling dynasties, are known to have been followers of Jainism during the Gupta period. Jain processions were held particularly before the full moon of Kartika, an important festival. Patronage of Jain monasteries. Jainism received significant patronage from the state, which helped establish and maintain monasteries. Inscriptions describe donations to Jain monks and nuns for their upkeep and religious duties. Jain monasteries were often richly adorned with bathhouses, perfumed water, and offerings to deities. Monks debated the necessity of wandering, with some opting for settled monasticism rather than ascetic life. Some monks began to engage in activities like selling images of Jina, which was criticized by other religious leaders. Decline of Jainism in the north. While Jainism flourished in the south, it gradually declined in northern India under the later Guptas. Patronage diminished in the northern regions, with Jain monks losing influence in political spheres. The lavish lifestyle of some Jain monks led to public criticism, weakening the religion's position in the north. Rituals and public displays of wealth, such as wearing expensive clothes and using carriages, were condemned. By the late Gupta period, Jainism was largely confined to regional strongholds with reduced influence in major cities. Buddhism's status. Buddhism experienced both growth and challenges during the Gupta period. Cities like Sarnath, Ajanta, and Ellora remained major Buddhist centers with support from the Gupta rulers. Viharas and stupas were built in important Buddhist regions like Bihar and Andhra Pradesh. Inscriptions from Gupta rulers show active participation in Buddhist festivals and rituals. While some regions saw a decline in Buddhism, others continued to thrive with rich endowments and state patronage. Buddhist art and architecture. The Gupta period is known as the golden age of Indian art, particularly Buddhist art and architecture. Buddhist monasteries, viharas, and stupas, such as those at Ajanta, Ellora, and Sarnath, were constructed during this period. The art at these sites displays the rich iconography of Buddha and Buddhist narratives with murals and sculptures. Famous sites like Bodh Gaya and Sanchi were enhanced during this era with state patronage. Gupta sculptures of Buddha, known for their elegance and serenity, became iconic, influencing later Buddhist art across Asia. The cave temples at Ajanta are especially renowned for their paintings depicting scenes from Buddha's life. Hindu Buddhist coexistence. Despite the rise of Hinduism, Buddhism maintained a strong presence with many shared practices and coexisting religious spaces. Pilgrimage like Bodh Gaya and Sarnath attracted both Buddhist and Hindu devotees. Buddhist monasteries were often built alongside Hindu temples, reflecting religious harmony. Both regions influenced each other, with Buddhist iconography influencing Hindu temple art and vice versa. Inscriptions reveal that many kings supported both Hindu and Buddhist institutions, further encouraging peaceful coexistence. The ruler's patronage of both religions helped consolidate their political power by appealing to a broader range of followers. Golden Age of Religious Art. The Gupta period is often referred to as the Golden Age of Indian religious art, with contributions to both Hindu and Buddhist traditions. Temples dedicated to Vishnu and Shiva, such as those at Devghar and Udayagiri, showcased advanced architectural techniques. Buddhist art reached its zenith with the Ajanta cave murals, which depict Jataka tales and scenes from Buddha's life. Sculptures from this period, like the standing Buddha at Sarnath, represent a shift towards more refined, elegant styles. Gupta artisans used local materials, including sandstone and granite, to create intricate religious sculptures. The era's artistic achievements influenced religious iconography in South and Southeast Asia. Religious pluralism. The Gupta period was marked by religious diversity, with Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism coexisting peacefully. Gupta rulers, including Chandragupta II and Kumaragupta I, patronized various religious institutions, ensuring stability. This period saw the growth of religious art and architecture, with key contributions from both Hindu and Buddhist communities. Religious debates, rituals, and festivals were central to Gupta culture, reflecting the intellectual vibrancy of the time. The legacy of religious tolerance and artistic achievements in the Gupta period influenced later dynasties and regions. The era laid the foundation for the continued evolution of Indian religious traditions in the centuries to come. So that was all about the religious conditions during the Gupta period. Hope you have liked the video. This video will be very important to you if you are interested in history or if you are participating in any kind of exam where history is important. So with your support, I hope to grow in future. In this channel, I make videos regarding ancient Indian history. Thank you so much for your love and support.